We'll call the Barron County Board of Supervisors for Monday, February 16th, 2026 into order. And check that you're present, so. I know Bob Anderson, Marv Thompson, and Tim Pletz all indicated they would not be here, and Audrey's online. So hopefully we got 25 in attendance. Okay, 25 here, 1 online, and 3 absent. Thanks. Public notification? Okay. Invocation, Supervisor Heller, it's you today?
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us together today. We ask that you give us guidance in making decisions that affect our families, friends, and each of our communities. Thank you for continuing to protect us, to lead us in strength, and to help us make choices to make Barron County the place to live, work, and worship you for generations to come. We ask these things in your precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Dana. What? Oh, okay, Shelley. Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shelley, would you like to just introduce yourself to the board?
Sure. I'm Shelley Shaw. Can you hear me? I'm Shelley Shaw. I've been working with Scott Bukowski for the last 2.5 years. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been working with Scott Bukowski for 2.5 years. I was a CVSO in another county for about 1.5 years. I served active duty Army for 4 years and a few months. And then I got out of active duty service, went into the inactive ready reserve, and then 9/11 happened. So I joined a reserve hospital, and I did that for 5 years after that. In the Army, I was a registered dietitian. I worked as a dietitian for about 25 years in total, doing various things, cancer center, ICU, CCU, diabetes, things like that. So that's my work history in a nutshell. That's the bulk of what I've done.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Special matters and announcements?
We have Dalton, and she's got a bunch.
Okay. Okay. Is Dalton coming up to you? Okay. Dalton's our new county forester. And Dalton, I didn't want to butcher your last name, so you better say it.
Like my grandfather kind of taught me, it's like big dog without the og, so bigged. Yeah, as you said, I'm the new county forest administrator and trails coordinator. I grew up in Barron County here, enjoying the county land that I get to work on now. So it's pretty exciting for myself. I grew up down in Prairie Farm, been doing forestry for over 10 years now. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to be in the position. Been ripping the Band-Aid off, and I think last week I put on 12 miles on the snowshoes looking at a bunch of timber. So yeah, it's been good, and I'm excited to be here.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
And I guess Shelley's already given us a speech. Thank you. Didn't you have some stuff, Jess?
Okay, as we all have seen on the agendas, Punky is hosting a retirement party for the supervisors that are retiring next month. All of them, but honoring the supervisors that are retiring next month. She has asked me to send out a peach sheet. We're going to send it around and just mark if you're able to attend so that she has an idea of how many people will be coming next month, and then we'll get that back to her at the end of the meeting. I'd also like to introduce my new deputy, Sabrina. She came to us with some election experience from some other counties. She lives in Shell Lake, and she's also going to be processing your payroll, so please be very nice to her. This is her first meeting. And then we've had a request that next month we take a picture of the outgoing county board. So after the meeting, we'll ask everybody just to, we'll find out where we want the best places to take a picture, and we'll make sure to take that picture and then share it with everybody after the meeting as well. Okay, that's all I've got.
All right. Item number 5, approve the agenda. Motion by Supervisor Heller, seconded by Supervisor Nelson. Does anybody have any issues with the agenda as laid out? Not? Let's vote. Audrey's giving thumbs up. Okay, that passed with 26 yes and 3 absent. Number 6, approve the minutes of January 12th, 2026. Motion by Supervisor Turcott, seconded by Supervisor Gores. Does anybody have any concerns with the minutes? Seeing none, let's vote. And minutes were approved with 26 yes and 3 absent. Public comment. Yes, we didn't have any, okay. Item number 8, resolutions approving the annual salaries of the Barron Clerk of Courts and the Sheriff. Just so you know, there's 5 elected officials in the county, every county. And so we're just taking up the Clerk of Court and the Sheriff today. When's the next time that we do? 2 years from now, we'll pick up the other 3 elected officials. Clerk of the Register of Deeds, the County Clerk, and the Treasurer. Yeah. Motion by Supervisor Cook, seconded by Supervisor Patty Anderson to approve that resolution. Is there any questions on that? Supervisor Schradel.
What the former sheriffs went through here in the last 3-4 years, we couldn't afford to pay him enough for what he did. And of course, the clerk goes through a lot, same way. So whatever the salary is, I'm in favor of it.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. And that passed, 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. Now, this resolution will take a 2/3 vote, which is 20 members. Resolution authorizing $23,753.96 expenditure matching grant funds, Wisconsin Department of Military Affairs, Public Safety Answering Point Grant. Now, that 23,000 is 10% of the total grant. So this, so we only have to pay 10% of it. I believe it's around 237, would be 237 plus $1,000. Our share is coming out of the unassigned fund balance. And I just want to, I said it at the executive meeting, and I'd just like to give a shout out to Mike Judy again. He does an excellent job with our emergency services. He meets with our first responders. He handles all the different things we have with the solar farms, and he works on these grants all the time and does an excellent job on obtaining them. And I believe everybody here had an annual report that was sent to you by the Emergency Services District, so I'd ask you to try to read that because it is a good document. So in terms of the resolution, a motion by Supervisor McCready, seconded by Supervisor Mullen. Does anybody have any questions on that resolution? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. 26, that passed, 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. The resolution, again, this is a 2/3. A resolution authorizing $14,850 for county clerk digital electronic images conversion. Again, that 14,000 plus will come out of unassigned fund balance, and that's to digitize the, I don't know if you want to explain, well, maybe if somebody has a question, we can explain it, Jess. It's just, we're trying to be proactive because this paper copies could be destroyed, and then if somebody wants the information, they aren't gonna be able to get it. So this is a one-time thing. You don't foresee us having to do this again, right? Okay.
So basically what this is the county clerk is in charge of all the historical documents. We have a vault upstairs as well as downstairs, and this includes some of our old proceedings books from way back when. It includes some documents that have to do with schematics of the dams for the county, and a lot of the documents that I've got in my possession are documents that are way past the retention period, but now are part of a historical document. So what that means is that we have to make sure we preserve it and we maintain it. Some of the documents I'm not even able to unfold to necessarily see what they are. So that means we have to figure out how are we going to restore it in order to see what it is. So we are partnering with a company out of Wausau. The Register of Deeds has already utilized it, and many of the states, I should say the counties and municipalities in the state have utilized the same company. What's going to happen is they're going to take the documents, we'll do a chain of custody, they'll restore the documents, they're going to put everything into a digital file, and then once we have that digital file, they will give us everything back, and then the UW Stout, I guess I don't really know if it's a library or a historical library, archive, they're going to keep all of our original documents. So we're not destroying anything, but what we're going to do is have a digital record to maintain everything so that if somebody actually were to search for documents, they'd actually have a way to find the documents. Because right now, nobody knows what we have, and if they were looking for something, it'd be almost impossible for them to find it with what we currently own. So this is just a way, it's a foolproof way for them to find what they want. And if we had something to say like a flood or a leak, those documents would be destroyed and nobody would ever be able to view them again. So this is just another foolproof way to make sure we cover ourselves.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Patty Anderson, second by Supervisor Rogers to approve that resolution. Is there any questions on that? Seeing none, let's vote. Punky, or Supervisor Mosentine, I mean. Okay, it passed with 26 yes and 3 absent. Okay, item number 11, resolution authorizing participation in the Department of Natural Resources Municipal Dam Grant Program. Saw the resolution there. A motion by Supervisor Efforts, second by Supervisor Langman. Question is, Tyler, I know we've got a dam fund that has, I think it has enough money to cover any potential match that we have here. Is that true?
Yes, yeah, we've had a set-aside account for the dams for many years now, but this would cover 50% of the cost of it. It's a competitive grant across the state. We're not the only municipality that owns the dam, and that so we'd find out this summer if we would get the funding or not. These are all for concrete improvements on the Chetek Dam. Basically repairing concrete that was probably repaired 60 or 70 years ago and is flaking off and things like that. So that's the type of repairs we'd be looking at.
What about, I know we're gonna do stuff on the Rice Lake Dam and the McConna Dam. Is that covered as well?
No, those are all separate projects.
Okay.
Yep. And those are more maintenance, and so they didn't really fit into the municipal dam grant program like the Chetek Dam
Okay.
did.
Anybody have any questions of Tyler? Not? Let's vote. And that passed by 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. Item number 12, resolution in support of sustainable transportation funding. Now, that's a resolution that was developed by the Wisconsin Counties Association. It's been sent to all 72 counties. The hope of the WCA is that all 72 counties pass this. And what they're trying to do is, if all 72 counties do it, there's some legislators can't just say, well, not affecting my voters, electors. But if everybody signs it, then the legislature has to deal with it. And as you know, gas tax indexing stopped in 2026. Since that time, the legislature's had extra money to take out of the general fund to give to the transportation fund. Before that, they used to rob the transportation fund the other way. But you can see, as anybody that works with the highway department or the towns, there's just not enough money to cover roads anymore. And I hope we don't have to go back to gravel roads because we can't sustain it. So this is an effort by the WCA. They're not telling the legislature how to do it. They're going to say we need it, and this is one to be their top lobbying items, is to get more money for our transportations for all the municipalities, and that way we can do something that's sustainable and not have to worry about this each and every year as to whether the legislature is going to be kind to us. So we've got a motion by Supervisor Nelson, seconded by Supervisor Moen. Is there any questions on this? Supervisor Vaughn.
I was looking at the packet on page, let me get it up here quick, page 16, and lines 67 to 69. I have a little concern with that. It seems to me that we're urging the governor and the legislature to adjust new and existing user fees. I don't see any guidelines there, and I don't think I'm in favor of that when the state is sitting on a $2 billion excess of surplus. Passing that along to individual citizens, I don't think is necessary. I would like to make a motion to remove item number 3 there, line 67 through 69.
Can I just say something before you make that motion? The WCA is trying not to tell the legislature what to do. They're just throwing out options. I don't think that that's one that they're going to push for, but that's something they're trying to get it generics so they can tell the legislature, hey, this is what all our counties want. I'm not individually in favor of that either, but there may have to be a compromise in order to get that, because we certainly need to have more money for transportation. So, but if you want to make the motion, that's up to you.
Well, as the chairman of the town of Dover, I understand we definitely need more money
Yes.
In funding. And I really agree with number 1, 2, and 4 that, we do need more responsible and prudent use of the general purpose revenue. Like I said, we're sitting on over $2 billion, but I don't think we need to pass that along to the users when we have all that excess already.
Jeff and I were just at the Wisconsin, WC puts on a legislative conference, and it was last Tuesday and Wednesday in Madison. It's a really good conference. They talked about that. Believe me, that $2 million will be gone in an instant. There's so much clamoring to how that should be spent. Some of the Republicans want to send you back a tax rebate. The Democrats maybe want to use it for schools, but there's a variety of different ways that they want to spend that money. It's not going to be sitting there next year, I don't think, when it comes to giving us some money for transportation. So, but would you still like to make your motion?
Well, I'm still not in favor of it like this.
You can communicate that to Representative Armstrong and Senator Quinn if you'd like to as well. But if you want to do that, that's up to you.
I will make the motion and see what happens. I wouldn't vote for it like this, I'll say
Okay.
that.
So your motion is to delete lines number 67, 68, and 69, which is actually item number 3 under now therefore be it resolved. Adjust any new and existing transportation user fees and other revenue mechanisms to sustain purchasing power in order to maintain and improve Wisconsin's transportation infrastructure. I'd like to delete that.
And then that would make number 4, number 3.
Okay. Okay. what we're doing is, do you have that resolution? You don't have it in front of you. You're really getting rid of line 67, 68, and 69, except for the and on the end of 69, and then making number 4 be number 3 on line 70. Si- 67, 68, 69, except for the and on the end of 69, and then item number 70 will have a number 3 instead of 4. So are you gonna put that up there then, Jess? Okay, and then there's a motion by Supervisor Vaughn. Motion, second by Supervisor Conan. Okay, we got a motion and a second to, I think we covered it. Anybody not understand what we're amending? Okay. I guess we'll vote on that then. Oh, Supervisor Cook.
I understand exactly what Diane's saying, but if I take 3 out, adjust any new or existing transportation fees, then I'm not going to be able to increase revenue.
Right.
So the one thing if we take that out, I'm not sure how that actually works then. Then we're going to pass a resolution that doesn't allow us to gain any new revenue. The thing that I think this lacks is it doesn't allow the counties to retain, doesn't allow Barron County to retain a tax that's on gasoline and those things that are in our county when they're purchasing things in our county. And unfortunately, then when they raise revenue, I'm fixing roads in Madison, Milwaukee,
Yep.
Stevens. I'm not fixing them here.
You do have the wheel tax alternative and stuff, but
Right.
There are other ways, but what you're saying is right. And I imagine that item number 3 would include any indexing of the gas tax. It used to be gas tax would go up by, I don't know if it was CPI or there was some mechanism that it would continue to increase, but in 2006, that stopped. I don't know why. Well, I'm not sure why they quit. They just didn't want to tax people, I guess. But, so.
So I guess, Diane, if just so I can understand, so in item number 3, if we take that out, how does that impact item 1? Provide adequate and reliable revenue growth.
I think that it leaves the door open for if they feel they need to do this, then that may be part of their plan, but it doesn't tell them, hey, do this for us. It tells them to do what they find adequate for revenue growth. And maybe some of that is, like number 2, giving more of the general purpose revenue toward transportation.
What the WCA tried to do was leave all the doors open and not tell the legislature what to do, but behind closed doors, they will be telling them, giving them suggestions. So Supervisor Patty Anderson.
I just wanted to reiterate, and this is my personal feeling, that if WCA is behind this, and I'm sure they've worked it out properly, then yes, it's a good idea.
Mhm. Any other questions? Not, let's vote. Now, vote on the amendment. Now, if you vote yes, you're voting to delete what Diane indicated there, line 67, 68, 9, and change the number in line 70. So yes vote will change this resolution. No vote will keep it like it is. So we're voting on the amendment. Audrey votes no. Okay, it failed on a majority vote of the members. There were 6 yes, 20 no, and 3 absent. So, thank you. All right, now we're back to the main motion, the original resolution. And that is by Supervisor Nelson and seconded by Supervisor Mullen. Any other questions or comments? Not, let's vote. Yes vote means you're voting for the original resolution. And that passed by a majority of the members present, 23 yes, 3 no, and 3 absent. Thanks, everybody. Diane, I do understand what you were trying to do. Okay, item number 13, zoning ordinance amendment, rezoning, Town of Cumberland, Scott and Mary Belfield owners. Belfile, okay. Motion by Supervisor Rogers, second by Supervisor Cook. Are there any questions on this amendment? Seeing none, let's vote. That passed by 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. Item number 14, zoning ordinance amendment, rezoning Town of Rice Lake, Dennis Gagne, owner. Motion by Supervisor Heller, second by Supervisor Banks. Anybody have any questions or concerns on this amendment? Seeing none, let's vote. Audrey's yes again. And that passed was 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. 15, approval of the emergency fire wardens for Barron County. That was listed in your packet. Motion by Supervisor Jenkins, second by Supervisor Fowler. Any concerns or questions with those approval of those emergency fire wardens? Seeing none, let's vote.
Hold on, I have one.
Oh, Supervisor Banks, you have a question?
Are those the only two in the whole county, or are there other ones that have been approved previously, or
You want to answer
these
that,
are
Jeff?
replacements, or what?
The list is provided by the DNR. We don't get to say who is appointed and who isn't. That is what the DNR provides to the county clerk, and that is what
Well,
we
my
get to
question
vote on.
is those the only two in the county?
No.
I couldn't tell you. That's just what we're provided.
I don't believe they are. I believe there are others.
We used to have a lot more.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's vote. That passed by a majority of 26 yes and 3 absent. Report from our county administrator.
Just per diem, that's all there is. Nothing.
Per diem report was included. Okay. And 17 appointments, Veteran Service Officer, appoint Shelley Shaw, we just met earlier. Motion by Supervisor Nelson, second by Supervisor Cook. Is there any questions or concerns on our appointment? If not, let's vote. Yeah, it passed, 26 yes and 3 absent. Thank you. Claims, petitions, and correspondence. Good. Item number 20, suggestions for future agenda items. The ones that are all listed here. Okay, the next meeting will be March 16th at 9 a.m. Yep. Is there anything else?
We gotta adjourn.
Yep. Okay. If not, by unanimous consent, we'll adjourn at 9:29. I believe that's what it was last time too. Good job, everybody. I can't believe how we're all getting along.